today's video is going to be, I'm sorry, I'm really tired today, so forgive me if I look a little run down. I really didn't sleep that well, and I haven't been feeling that great today. I got sick earlier, but I still wanted to put on some makeup, so I'm probably just going to do this mostly as a voiceover because I don't feel well enough to like talk through everything today. So today's video is going to be a collaboration, and it's going to be with two of my dear friends here on YouTube. The first girl that I am collaborating with is my dear friend that I've been friends with for at least 10 years now, my dear friend Brittany. Her YouTube channel is called, I believe it's Be A True Foxxx or Be A Foxxx. If I'm not 100% correct, then let me just pull it up real quick. I am the worst. Okay, so yes, it is Be A True Foxxx. She just started her YouTube channel. She just has made one video, but we have been talking about doing a Disney collab for a couple of weeks now, so we have been talking back and forth of what we wanted to do, and I love her. She's so talented. We also did the Pride collab on Instagram together, and that was great. So please go and subscribe to her channel, show her some love, tell her I sent you, and I hope you guys can see how amazingly talented she is. And then the other YouTuber that I am going to be collaborating with is AllyBrianne. Why am I the worst ever? This is what happens when I'm tired. Yes, AllyBrianne. Now, I recently started talking to her a couple weeks back on Instagram, and she actually featured one of my Instagram photos on her story. And she does like a weekly thing, I guess, of displaying different looks on her Instagram story. And she gave me a shout out and showed my picture and mentioned me. So I messaged her back and I said, thank you so much for mentioning me. You are so sweet. And she said, of course, like, I thought you did such an amazing look. And basically we just got to talking, and I just checked out her Instagram and I saw that she posted a lot about the Midnight Masquerade collection. So I was like, I love that collection too. And she was like, would you like to do a Midnight Masquerade collaboration with me, or like a princess collaboration? I was like, hell yeah, I do. So please go and subscribe to her channel as well. She is so extremely talented. She does amazing looks. She does like this 4 looks 1 palette video every time she gets a new palette. She also has this amazing Disney series. So we are actually going to be a part of that, but she's doing one of her looks and mentioning us in our videos so we can make it a collaboration. So today's collab is going to focus on the ColourPop Midnight Masquerade palette because Brittany is going to receive hers very soon, and of course I've had this palette for a long time. But it doesn't mean that we are just going to strictly use this palette. We are just going to incorporate it in some way in all of our looks. So basically for the rest of our looks, we have free reign to do whatever we want. We just have to incorporate this palette in some way. So for me, I'm probably going to use as many Disney products as possible because you guys know I love Disney, so why not try to use as many as I can. I already primed my eyes and put lip gloss on and set my eyes, so now we are going to jump into the voiceover because I really don't feel well enough to talk through this whole thing. So I hope you guys enjoy this look. My goal for this look is to do 2 different colored eyes, so the focus of this look is that we really wanted to do looks based on the princesses' dresses. Brittany is doing Belle and Ally is doing Cinderella. I am doing Aurora because you guys know Aurora is my favorite princess. And I don't think I've ever done like an Aurora inspired look on my channel. I mean, I've worn a bunch of her products for Halloween, but I've never actually done like an Aurora inspired look. So what I'm going to do is, since, you know, Sleeping Beauty's dress is always a different color, it's make it pink or make it blue, I really wanted to run with that theme and I'm going to make one eye pink and one eye blue. So I hope you guys enjoy. I really have been enjoying doing two-tone looks. I think it's really, really fun. I did that for the Pride collab, and now I'm really excited to do it for this look. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's jump into the video. Okay, so we're going to start off with the blue side, and I'm going to apply the shade Enigma, and I'm going to be picking up the Haus Laboratories Stupid Love palette by Lady Gaga, and I'm going to be using the shade Enigma, and I'm going to be using that as my crease shade, and I'm going to apply that all over the crease, and that is the first shade that we are going to be starting out with. So I'm just going to quickly apply that in my crease area. Okay, then the next shade that we are picking up is called Sign. It's a beautiful matte royal blue shade, again out of the Stupid Love palette, and I'm going to be using that as my defining shade, and I'm going to define the crease more with that color. These are really great mattes, and I thought that these would be the perfect blue shades to use for this look, and then we will start getting into some Disney themed palettes, but mostly for the blues, I don't really have any other Disney themed palettes that have blue shades in them, so I thought that these shades were perfect. So I'm just going to work that through my crease area to define it, and then we are going to cut the crease, and I'm going to use my favorite concealer to cut the crease with, and that is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer. I'm not sure of the shade. I forgot to grab it. But if you guys are curious, I'll answer you guys in the comments. But it's the Pretty Fresh Concealer, and I'm going to cut the crease. I just wanted to draw the, fill out the lid on camera, and then I will cut the crease off camera because that takes forever. So I honestly didn't do like the best job cutting my crease. But, you know, I figure it doesn't have to be like totally perfect because you're going to cover it with shadow anyway. So now I'm going into the Storybook Cosmetics Briar Rose palette, and I'm going to be picking up the shade called Prince. Sorry, I forgot to grab some glitter glue, and I applied that off camera because sometimes I forget and the shadow doesn't stick to the concealer, and obviously I didn't want that happening, so I applied it before I put the shade on. Sorry, I kept on looking out the window because my brother's friend was outside. They had come back from a walk in the park, and then they hung out outside our house, and I was just seeing what they were doing. I didn't want to be rude and not talk to him, so but I had just started recording this video basically by the time they came back. Jump into the pink side. So what I'm going to take for those shades is I'm going to use the Midnight Masquerade palette. And some shades from the Storybook Cosmetics palette. So I wanted to incorporate this palette as well in some way because this is literally a Briar Rose eyeshadow palette. So this is a Sleeping Beauty palette. So of course I wanted to use some of the shades in here as well. So we're going to use some of those. So I'm going to jump into the Midnight Masquerade palette, and we'll go into that on this side. Okay, so now we are going to jump into the pink side, and the first shade that I'm taking is, of course, the main palette that we are going to be using in this collab. I'm picking up the shade Damsel from the Midnight Masquerade palette, and I'm going to be using that as my main crease shade for the pink side. Sorry for the ridiculous amount of kick up. It usually doesn't kick up that badly. I don't know why. It was like literally going everywhere, but you know, YOLO. So I picked up that shade first, and this is the first shade that I'm picking up from the Midnight Masquerade palette. I will use it more later, but unfortunately the Midnight Masquerade palette doesn't have too many blues in it, and I wanted to incorporate the Storybook Cosmetics palette as well in this look. So that is the first shade that we're picking up, and I'm just gonna continue to blend it, and then we'll jump into the next shade. Okay, and then the next shade we're jumping into is back into the Storybook Cosmetics Briar Rose palette, and we're going to use the shade Kiss, which is a really beautiful like hot pink shade with some shimmer in it, but it works really well in the crease. So I'm going to pick up that shade and use it as my defining shade because I thought it was the perfect color to accent and emulate the color of the pink side of Aurora's dress. So that's why I wanted to pick up this shade, and I wanted to use some more shades from this palette. And that's it for now. Okay, so now the other palette I want to incorporate is the Disney It's a Princess Thing palette, and I'm going to use the shade Fairy Godmother as my lid shade. I did go ahead and cut the crease on camera, and now we're going to jump into the lid shade. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the lid shade. I did apply some glitter glue off camera, and then I'm going to pick up the shade Fairy Godmother, like I said, on my finger, and apply that to my lid and all over my crease area on where we put the concealer. And it just takes a little bit of building up. And sorry I said on camera that I cut the crease. I obviously did that off camera. You know, I'm always making mistakes. So, but yeah, I did want to use a little bit of this palette as well in this look. So I wanted to pick up this shade out of this palette because I thought that was the perfect pink shade. Okay, so now we're going to be applying foundation, and I did most of the application off camera just to save some time. But I'm going to be applying the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation in the shade NW13 because I wanted full coverage in this look, so it's one of my go-to favorite full coverage foundations. So I'm just going to be applying that with my L'Oreal sponge. And then we are going to jump into concealer, and the concealer I decided to use was the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer in the shade Snow. And I'm going to apply that in my T-zone area, and then I'm going to blend it out with my sponge. This is one of my favorite full coverage concealers, and I usually switch off between this one or the e.l.f. Camo Concealer when I want more full coverage. And since, you know, I wanted a more flawless coverage on my face, this is one of my go-to concealers for that, so I'm just going to blend it out with my sponge. It does make me look pale as a ghost sometimes, but it's a great concealer. So we're just going to keep on blending that out. Sorry if I run out of things to talk about. Sometimes it's a little bit weird doing voiceovers. And I don't know what I was grabbing. I think I was checking my phone real quick. Okay, and then I applied it underneath my eyes off camera, and now I'm going to be blending it out just so I can have a flawless under eye. So I'm just going to blend that out with my same sponge that I always use in basically every look that I do because I love this L'Oreal sponge. It's like one of my all-time favorites. Okay, and then I'm going to be setting my under eyes, and I did set my T-zone off camera to save time. I'm using my ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder in the shade Translucent underneath my eyes and around my nose area. I don't know what I was saying. I think it was just not coming out enough in the lid. So I just did that, and then we'll jump into my face powder, and I'm just going to be using my usual face powder, which is my Flower Beauty Light Illusion powder in the shade Porcelain L1, and I'm just going to be applying that all over my face to set my foundation. Okay, so now we are going to jump into the lower lash line. I am feeling better than before, so I might just talk through this part. I don't know if my crease like looks too uneven. Like I might have to make this side higher, but I feel like it looks better on this side. It might just be the blue from the other side of the crease that might be, because I feel like I cut this side better than this side. So for my face, I went in with MAC Fix Plus and then my Fenty Beauty primer to prime my face, and then for my foundation I used the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation in the shade NW13, and then I went in with my Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer in the shade Snow to conceal, and then I went in with my ColourPop No Filter powder. And then you already saw what press powder I used. So now we're going to jump into the lower lash line. I might add some glitter after this. I'm not sure yet. I probably will. So for my lower lash line, for the blue side, I'm going to jump into Merryweather. Okay, so now we're going to jump back into the blue side, and we are going to work on the lower lash line. So now this is where more of the Sleeping Beauty shades from the Midnight Masquerade palette come into play, and I'm going to use that beautiful royal blue from the Midnight Masquerade palette in the shade Merryweather, which is, of course, named after one of the 3 fairies in Sleeping Beauty. So obviously I had to incorporate this shade in the blue side because how could I not? Because it's an Aurora themed look and I really wanted to use it. So I did kind of connect it to the outer area where the crease was all the way in just to make it more dramatic and blown out. And then I'm going to be picking up the Storybook Cosmetics Briar Rose palette again, and I'm going to be picking up the shade called Castle, and that is what I'm going to be using on my inner corners. So I'm going to try and make that as dramatic as I can just so it really pops. I'm just going to grab another brush because I felt like the other brush that I was using wasn't really working that well. So I picked up my older MAC Cosmetics, I think it's a Stila brush, and I'm going to be applying that shade all over my inner corners because, again, I did want to incorporate more colors from the Storybook palette because obviously it's called a Briar Rose palette, so how could I not use it in this look? Okay, so now we are going to be jumping back into the pink side, and I'm going to be picking up the ColourPop It's a Princess Thing palette, and I'm going to be using the shade Juju, and that is the pink matte shade that I'm going to be using underneath on my lower lash line for the pink side. So I'm going to pick that up and smudge it all over the lower lash line, and I'm going to blow it out a little bit. But it's such a pretty color. But those were really the only 2 colors that I used from the Princess Thing palette, but I really wanted to incorporate the pink shades from this palette as well because it is a princess themed palette, so why not use this as well? So that's it for that, and then I'm going to jump back into the Midnight Masquerade palette, and I'm going to pick up the shade Spinning Wheel, which is obviously the other Disney, obviously it's Disney, the other Aurora themed shade in the Midnight Masquerade palette, so of course I wanted to use it on my inner corners for this look. I could have used it all over my lid, but I don't think it's pink enough, but it's a beautiful like white duochrome pink shade. It's such a pretty shade, and I love using it on my inner corners. I use it a ton on my inner corners when I use this palette, so I obviously really wanted to use it on my inner corners for this look. How many times can I say inner corners? So that is it for that, and then we are going to do the fun part, and we are going to apply some glitter in just a second. Okay, so now we're going to apply some liner first. Sorry, I was thrown off on what I was doing because I kind of forgot. So I'm going to apply the Maybelline Skinny Liner in the shade Black, and we're going to apply that all over my waterline. As you guys know, I don't love using eyeliner on my upper lash line. It's just because, like, I always feel like it takes away from the look, and I never, like, do it properly, but I always like watering. I always like filling in my waterline, so I'm just using the black liner. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glitter. I think I'm going to take one of these lime prime brushes to apply it. I think I'm going to take the eyeliner brush, and I'm going to apply a little bit of glitter glue because I want to use the pressed glitters in the Midnight Masquerade palette just so we can use a couple more shades. So I'm going to do the pink side first. I'm just going to take a little bit because this effect takes a while for me to get. So I usually just, I'll tap it on sparingly, and then what I'll do is I'll take that shade Floating Lantern and I'll get like a little bit of it on my brush, and then I kind of want to do like a glitter crease kind of effect again. So I'm going to just put it here, and kind of like spread it out. And I think that looks really pretty. And I'm going to keep on doing that. Okay, so now for the fun part. So I did apply some glitter glue on that area that I am applying the glitter, because if I didn't apply glitter glue, the glitter wouldn't have anything to stick with, and it's kind of hard to get it to stick without it falling all over your face if you don't put glitter glue on first. So the glitter that I'm using for the pink side is the pressed glitter from the Midnight Masquerade palette in the shade Floating Lantern. And I'm putting that all over like the defining crease area and kind of staggering it and kind of just putting it all over that area, and I'm kind of bringing it into the inner corners as well, and I really liked how it turned out. And then for the blue side, since I feel like, I mean, I'm going to take Royal Ball because there's not a blue glitter in this palette. I might mix in a little bit of another blue glitter from another ColourPop palette. But I don't think I'm going to need to. And I feel like it would kind of stand out a little bit more if I did it this way. Glitter glue is not doing what I want it to do. Actually, that's fine. It went over just fine. And then I'm going to stick on the Royal Ball glitter from the Midnight Masquerade palette. Okay, so like I said, for the blue side, I'm going to take the shade Royal Ball from again, the Midnight Masquerade palette, and I'm going to be applying that all over the blue side in the same area that I applied it on the pink side, and I'm just going to stagger it all over above my crease area, in that defining crease area, and kind of just stagger it all over that area. And I'm going to keep on picking it up until I am satisfied with how much is applied. I wanted to apply glitter last for this look because I was kind of back and forth with it on whether or not I was going to do glitter. But then I was like, how can I not do glitter in a Disney princess look? Like, Disney's all about the pixie dust, Disney's ditzy. Disney's all about the stardust, Disney's all about, like, glitter and fairy dust, so I was like, of course I have to apply some glitter in this look. So, and then of course I wanted to incorporate the Midnight Masquerade palette as much as I could in this look, so I was like, how can I not use the glitters? I was like, I can't just use the two Sleeping Beauty shades, I gotta use the palette a little bit more. So I was glad that I was able to kind of get my creative juices flowing for this look and really just try some new. It really has been fun doing these collabs because it really has been inspiring me to try something new and try new things with my makeup, like cut creases and glitter creases and just fun. I've been having so much fun doing these collabs and really just stepping out of my comfort zone and doing some really dramatic looks because I really don't put this much effort into some looks ever. I cannot speak, but yeah, I really liked how this looked, and then I'm just going to apply it to the inner corners as well on that side, and I really liked how it turned out. And I'm just looking to see if it looks good. Okay. So I'm not going to add any more glitter to this side because I actually think that this glitter looks really pretty with the blue. It kind of has a bit of blue reflect in it anyway, like it's not just white. So I think that the white, like shimmery green blue glitter looks really pretty on this side. So the eyes are pretty much done, and now we're going to jump into the face. So the two glitters that I used was, again, Floating Lantern from Tangled. This one I actually use quite a bit, so that one looks like it's been the most used because I do use it quite often. And then, because I used this glitter in my pink look on Instagram, that's the last time I used it, and then Royal Ball I also used as well, so I basically just went in with the same two glitters. So I went in with Floating Lantern on this side, and then Royal Ball on this side, and I really love the effect. Okay, so for the rest of the face, since, you know, blue isn't actually a very wearable color, I was going to use more like pink product. I mean, really the only pink products I'm using is my blush and my lipstick because they're both Sleeping Beauty themed products, so I wanted to use those in this video. So I don't really have anything that's blue that really represents Sleeping Beauty, and I didn't really want to make the face two different colors. I just wanted to mainly focus on the eyes as being the two different colors. So I'm going to bronze up my skin first, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to bronze up my skin, and I'm going to take the shade, I'm going to take my Anastasia bronzer in Rosewood, and I'm going to use that to bronze up my skin. I obviously don't have a Disney-themed bronzer, and this is the bronzer that I love to use when I do more of a dramatic look. I'm not sure what I was saying there again, but I'm just going to use that to add some color back into my face, and then we will jump into blush. Okay, so now we are going to take one of my favorite products for this whole look, and I obviously had to use my Sleeping Beauty Besame Cosmetics palette, so of course I wanted to use that to for my blush because it's the only Sleeping Beauty themed blush that I have in my whole collection, and obviously I had to use this. So I'm going to take a mixture of both of the pink shades, the light pink shade and the dark pink shade, and I'm going to apply those to my cheekbones to blush up my cheeks. So we're just going to do that. I just need to grab the highlighter that I used real quick because I forgot the name. Oh wait, I do remember the name, right? Sorry, I stepped away for a second, but it's kind of boring just listening to me talk the whole time. I think it's called Coronation. Okay, so now I'm taking the Aurora highlighter, of course, from the Midnight Masquerade collection from ColourPop, and I believe the highlighter is called Coronation. And I'm also going to be taking kind of a combo of the highlighters in the Besame Cosmetics palette. Sometimes I use the shimmery, like deeper shimmery one as a blush, but I wanted to use all three of them in this look and kind of just, you know, create a really intense glow. So first I'm applying the Aurora shade from the Midnight Masquerade collection from ColourPop, and I'm going to use that to highlight. Okay, yes, the highlight is called Coronation, so I'm just going to be applying that first. Sorry, I had to double check the name because I'm like the worst with names sometimes. And I'm just going to slowly build that up. I know I take forever to apply highlight sometimes, but you know I always have to be beaming from the gods. And then I take a mixture of the Sleeping Beauty highlighting shades from the Besame Cosmetics palette, and I basically just apply those over the Coronation highlight just so I can really have a pop-in highlight, and then I just wanted to make sure that it looks good. Okay, so I just took the yellow shade. I didn't take the brown. Sorry. I wasn't sure what I was doing. I didn't realize I was applying the Coronation shade for 10 million years. But then I took like the more like yellowy shade from the Besame Cosmetics palette, and I applied that over it, and it's such a beautiful highlight together. So that is it for the highlight. You guys know I could highlight for 10 million years. And then I'm going to set my face with my Fenty Beauty Make It Do setting spray. I believe that's what it's called. What It Do setting spray. And then I'm going to do my brows real quick off camera. I'm just going to brush them. Oh, actually I'm doing them on camera. Okay. I'm brushing them through with a spoolie, and then I'm just going to apply some brow gel. And then I'm going to do the lips. So first I'm going to line my lips with the Lime Crime Velveteen lip liner in the shade Girl, and it's this really beautiful pinky lip liner, and I'm going to use that to line my lips first. So I'm just going to apply that. Okay, and then I'm going to jump into the Aurora lip shade that I got from the Midnight Masquerade collection from ColourPop, and I'm going to be using the shade Prince Philip. I thought it was so cute that ColourPop named the lip shades after all the princes that coordinated with the princesses in the Midnight Masquerade palette. I thought that was so cute. And you guys know how much I love the ColourPop Luxe lipstick formula. They're such comfortable lipsticks. I love them way more than the Ultra Blotted Lips. They just feel like so cloud-like on your lips. And honestly, I feel that these are much lighter on your lips than the Ultra Blotted Lips. I feel like the Ultra Blotted Lips kind of dry out your lips more, and I feel like these are just like liquid velvet. They feel so good on the lips. And this is such a beautiful color. It's like a magenta pink, and it's just so beautiful. So I thought it was perfect for this look, of course. And that's pretty much it, you guys. I actually forgot to edit this video until like 1 in the morning, so sorry I'm like kind of stumbling, but like I just needed to quickly edit it. It was just, oh my god, I can't believe I almost forgot that we were posting this video tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so the lips are pretty much done, but I want to add a touch of Maleficent in this look. I know that mostly this was a Aurora themed look, but I kind of want to use one of these Super Shock highlighters and kind of see how it looks on top of this lipstick. So let's see. Oh, that's really pretty. Just to add a little bit of shimmer. Yeah, so this is called, what is this shade? Mistress of All Evil. And I'm just going to tap that on top of the lippy, just to add a little bit of frostiness. I feel like I'm getting pink lipstick on my fingers constantly, and I don't want that to be in the highlight, so let's just wipe that off, and then we'll keep on applying it. But I'm really digging how this look turned out, and we'll go over the look in a second. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we'll go over the look. All right, you guys, so this is pretty much the finished look. Here are the eyes. Give you guys a good look. I really love how they turned out. The cheeks, which you guys know I love all these products that I used on my cheeks, and then the lips, which you guys know I love these ColourPop Luxe liquid lipsticks. If you guys don't like a heavy liquid lipstick, then these are your formula, because they're so light and pillow-like feeling, and they're basically liquid velvet lipsticks, and they actually came out in this collection, and then ColourPop released like a whole bunch of colors after this, but they were exclusive to this collection before they released the full line of these lipsticks. So they had introduced a new formula with this collection, and I fell in love with the formula so much that I had to get a couple of the wearable everyday shades, because I'm obviously not going to wear this every single day. So I really love how this look turned out. I really love getting my creative juices flowing. I did film this video relatively late. I started it at 4 and I didn't end until 6 p.m. So I was debating on whether or not I even wanted to put on makeup today, because I wasn't feeling that well earlier. I didn't really eat that much today because I didn't feel well, but now I'm pretty hungry. But I just want you guys to send love to these ladies that I am collabing with. I kind of like how the end result turned out, because it's kind of more dramatic on this side, and this side's kind of a bit more feminine and soft, and this side's a little bit more dramatic and like evening, and this is like daytime. That's because like I felt like the crease on this side was a little bit too high, but after you put the glitter on top, it doesn't really matter, because the glitter kind of just goes right over that anyway. I love how the glitter looks in person. Again, you can't really see, like, it really reflects so beautifully in person. So I hope you guys can see that effect. But yeah, I absolutely love how this look turned out. And I'm also wearing my Caution High Maintenance Princess shirt. It has Cinderella, Ariel, and Belle on it. Of course, it has every princess that they're doing, and I can't find my Aurora shirt anywhere, but I thought that this would still be a really cute one to wear for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I'm really, really happy with this one as well. I didn't feel like lashes were necessary for this because, again, I mean, I probably could have done liner or something, but I really like how the overall look looks without liner. And I like how I brought the glitter on the inside, and I really like the colors that I used for the eyeshadow. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please go and send these girls some love. Again, I will leave their channels in the description box below, and you can go check them out. They're both incredibly talented ladies, and I can't wait to see their looks as well, because I'm filming this pretty early in the week that I haven't seen their looks yet. But I kind of like that it was kind of like a two-tone, like, I would never wear this look together, but I kind of like it's two different personalities, because, like, I don't necessarily think that these looks should have had to match. The creases aren't identical. I think that's cool about doing two different eyes, because, you know, this is the pink, make it blue. So there's always going to be that conflicting message. So I kind of wanted to interpret that in the way that I did my eyes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I really love how the look turned out. Maybe I should have put some eyeliner on, but again, you know, I'm not a huge eyeliner fan. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. I love you guys, and please go send Brittany and AllyBrianne some love. Honestly, they are so super talented, and I love working with them. And it was a pleasure to work with them, and I can't wait to do another collab with them. So I love you guys. Bye. Did I say please like and subscribe? Please like and subscribe and follow me on my social media. Give me a thumbs up. Bye.